I say betul lah. Okay, we are live. Let's wait for people to join us.
How do we know if there are people already?
I can see it because
Okay.
it's on my screen, but you cannot
Okay.
see it.
Okay.
But let's just start by 5 minutes, which is 5 minutes your time.
Okay.
So I'm so nervous. How do I say it in Korean?
Alamak, I don't know.
Okay, usually I would know, but today because I'm so nervous, so I cannot flaunt my Korean skills.
저는 한국말 못해요. I don't know how to speak Korean.
Just for our participants' information, our speaker today, right now is in Korea. So, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 여러분.
Okay.
Okay.
Ramai ke 여러분nya?
여러분 now already 11.
Okay.
Hi everyone, you can talk to us by putting down your greetings or whatever you want to say on the comment section. We'll be reading it.
Yes. There. Are they from Facebook or from YouTube or both?
From both. And Doctor, can you try sharing your...
Okay.
Forgot about that earlier.
Okay.
I was supposed to prepare
I'm so nervous. I forget everything already.
It's okay. You were busy talking.
Share. Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, there's our first comment. Hi, I'm here for Kak Jaji's talk. Hihi. Hello,
Hi. Hi, Fatin.
Tiba.
Nama glamour, Kak Jazi.
Kak Jaji, okay. Sounds cuter. Okay lah, saya doktor lah ya.
It's okay. Boleh je, tak kisah.
Okay, so everyone, you can call me Sumaya. I'm your moderator today. So we have another 2 minutes.
For inviting me.
You're most welcome, Doctor.
Kak Jaji pun boleh.
Kak Jaji, okay. Lah dah sembang-sembang tadi yang tiba-tiba Doktor balik.
Oh, ni ada logo tu boleh nampak sama ada diorang dari YouTube atau Facebook kan?
Yes.
Kat komen ni. Okay.
So if you guys want to talk to us, you can leave comments on the comment section. Whether you're from YouTube or Facebook, you are all welcome. Okay, less than 1 minute. Let me just, I guess, advertise something. So I'm gonna show you a link. No, sorry. Okay, this. Okay, this is the link to our Telegram channel where we provide postgraduate content, more postgraduate content, for free, regarding hot issues in the postgraduate world, or like just informative materials. So you guys can check it out. You guys can subscribe to the channel. That's our Telegram official channel. So yeah, check it out.
Yes, check it out. Sini, situ. Okay.
Okay. Um, you may start now, Doctor.
Okay. Okay. Let me start now. Okay.
Everyone is welcome. Kak
Welcome
Zulfati
everyone.
Izazi Zulkifli.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sumaya. Okay. Um, Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. Okay. Tonight you are going to listen to me talk for like about 1 hour. So I hope you're okay with that. Okay? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, so I will just begin now. The title of my talk today would be this: Things I Wish I Had Known Before I Started My PhD. So obviously there are a lot of things that I wish I had known before I started my PhD, because as always, expectation versus reality, they are not the same. Okay, but let me just share with you what they are right now. But before that, I will introduce myself a little bit. Okay, my name is Zulfati Izazi Zulkifli. Or you can also call me Kak Jaji, as some of you might know me as Kak Jaji. Okay, I'm currently working as an assistant professor at Hankook University of Foreign Studies, South Korea. About my PhD, I did my PhD in USM, University Science Malaysia. I started my PhD in March 2018. That feels like centuries ago. And I submitted my full thesis in February 2021. It was a meaningful journey and I learned a lot, but there are also things that I wish I had known sooner, and I will be sharing them with you tonight. But before I begin, this is like a disclaimer. Okay, this is just my experience. I'll just be sharing my experience, and some advice might not be applicable for everyone because we are different people. We have different situation and different circumstances in life. But anyway, I hope that my sharing tonight will be useful for you guys. Okay, let's start. Item number one. Okay, it's a lonely journey. It's a really lonely journey. Okay, you know how you have a lot of friends when you were doing your undergrad degree? You have classmates and you will have group assignments, and after class you might go to eat and have lunch or dinner with your friends. Right after class you will like walk together down the stairs, talking about the class just now. But that doesn't happen in a PhD life. When I first started, as I have written here, when I first started, I was aware that I will be spending most of my time alone, but I didn't realize that it was going to be that lonely. Okay, by that lonely, I mean that at least for me, in my experience, my PhD, it didn't have any classes. No classes, no frequent meetings. Usually when there are meetings, it would just be me and my supervisor. Okay, because I didn't have a co-supervisor, so usually when we had meetings, it was only just the two of us. Okay, so you can imagine already, right? Like it's a bit lonely. You don't have classmates, you don't have group assignments, things like that. And on top of that, what you are doing, your research is usually very unique, and you are doing it on your own, alone. But this is not a bad thing after all. Okay, this is not that sad kind of lonely. It's actually the kind of
Building kind.
loneliness that helps you grow. Okay, you know yourself better, you learn how to be more independent, and you will have more free time for yourself, and you can focus more on your PhD thesis or PhD articles. Okay, let's go to item number 2. Okay, the second one is I wish I had known that publications actually take a long time. Not just a long time, but like a long time, a very long time from the writing process. So for me, the writing process was the longest. It took me like more than 6 months just to write one single article. Because I was still very new at that time. I didn't know what article writing was about. I thought it's just like writing an essay, but it's actually more than that. And then when you are done with your writing, you have to submit. When you want to submit your article, usually you will have to follow the formats that they have given. And that is also a bit time consuming. You will have to follow exactly how they ask. Usually each journal will have their own format. So that will not take like a very long time, but still it will take some time. And then after that, the reviewing process. This will also take some time. In my case, for my first article, the reviewing process from the date of submission until the date of acceptance was like plus minus 10 months. That is a very long time. Okay, it's like almost 1 year already. So now that I have shared this with you, if you plan to do your PhD soon, or if you are already a registered PhD student, don't wait long. Start writing for your article now. Okay, start writing your article now because it will take some time from the writing process until the publication process. That is if it's accepted for publication. If it is rejected, then that will be another story. Your heart will be broken, but just a little bit, and then you will grow back stronger, and then you will have to improve your article. And inshallah, if you submit to another journal, you might have a better chance at publishing. Okay, so that is on item number 2. So now let's take a look at item number 3. Can you guess how many items I have tonight? 5, 10,
10.
and maybe 10. We will see. Okay, next, number 3. 1 day of break is like a week of break. Okay, that is in thesis age, kind of something like that, thesis age. So if you take a break for 1 day, it will feel like a week of break, because even just 1 day of break is it's able to make you lose your momentum. Okay, and if you are already comfortable after that 1 day of break, maybe you will lose your momentum and you will lose your motivation. And you see, this is very dangerous. I'm not saying that you cannot take breaks. Of course you can. You have to take breaks. But this is just something that I think is useful to know. 1 day of break is like a week of break. Then if a day of break is like a week, what will a week of break will be like? Okay, so and then 1 month of break is like how many years already? Okay, so this is very important to note. So when you take breaks, you have to also take note of where you leave your thesis at which chapter, which paragraph, which sentence. Okay, because just a day of break is able to make you lose your memory about your thesis. It's like I'm not saying that it's not good to take breaks, but of course, just remember where you left your thesis at, so that when you come back to it, you will not be losing your momentum. Okay, let's check item number 4. We need to read as we write and write as we read. So I received a question from one of you guys. The question was asking about writer's block. So have I ever experienced writer's block? If you do, can you please share how do you overcome it? Okay,
Yes,
So
yes.
this
The
is
comment.
actually how I overcome it. We need to read as we write and write as we read. When we read, usually we will have a lot of ideas going on in our head. But if we don't write it down, right after we finish reading, we tend to forget everything. Like after we close our laptop or close the book, it's like, okay, what was I reading? Sudden sudden memory loss. Okay, so that's why it's important to read as you write and write as you read. When you are in the process of writing, go back to the articles or the books that you were reading previously to make sure that your ideas are flowing. And when you are reading, if your main activity at that time was reading, try to have a notebook by your side and try to write down everything, even if it sounds silly. Even if you think, this is not a good idea, this is not a good sentence, I'm not sure if this sentence is grammatically correct, it's okay. Just write. Okay, no one's watching. So you have to write like no one's watching, because no one is watching you at that exact moment. So you just have to write
It's you
and
and your thesis.
right. And then I want to recommend this. It's thesaurus.com. I love this website. It's like a dictionary, but it also provides synonyms. I especially love the synonym feature because sometimes when I write, I don't want to repeat the same things, even though my points are kind of the same points, but I want to write it in a different sentence. Okay, so I will use synonyms, and thesaurus.com is very good at providing synonyms. Okay, let me just leave my slide for a while and I go back here to read the comments. Okay, I will go back to the comments later and I will continue with item number 5 now. Okay, number 5, it's okay to work and study at the same time. Okay, at first, as I have written here, at first I was worried that working and studying at the same time would be distracting, but turned out it's actually the opposite. When I first started my PhD back in 2018, I had just finished my contract as a research assistant at University of Malaya. So at that time, I was jobless, but I was also a freshly registered PhD student. And of course, the main thing that I was worried about was money. How am I going to pay for the upcoming semesters if I'm not working? And then one day, a friend shared a job vacancy advertisement, and I applied for the job. And the job was part-time. It was kind of in the middle between freelance and part-time. I was able to choose my own available dates. So mostly I did the job on the weekends. Okay, so at first I was really worried that, okay, working would make me tired, working would be distracting. If I'm busy working, maybe I will not be able to focus on my thesis. But actually, it's not like that at all, because I begin to appreciate time more. Like, okay, I know that I will be working tomorrow, so today I have to finish writing this paragraph. Okay, sometimes we can stuck on a single paragraph for days. Like we open our laptop and then we look at the paragraph and then nak tulis apa ni? Nak tulis apa ni? That always happens. Okay, so usually when I have work that weekend, I will make sure that I at least finish writing that one particular paragraph. Okay, and then as we get busier, we have our PhD and we have our job, so we have to learn how to manage our time better. And turn out it was working for me because I'm also relieved because I know, okay, it's okay. I'm a bit tired. I'm working every day, like working on my thesis and then go to my actual work. But at the end of the month, I will get my salary and I will have some savings that would be used for the upcoming semesters phase. So at least I was relieved, even though I was tired and busy, because I also noticed that some of you ask about the financial. How did I manage my fees, and how did I manage my financial when I was a student? So that was how I did it. I work and study at the same time. Before I started my PhD, I thought that it cannot be possible, but actually, yes, it is possible based on my experience. Okay, let's see item number 6.
For everyone who's leaving comments, we'll get to it after the presentation.
Okay,
Okay, Doctor?
okay, boleh. Okay,
Better kot macam tu
item
kan?
boleh je. Sebab sikit lagi, lepas tu kita boleh tengok soalan. Okay, item number 6. There will always be something new in terms of knowledge and information. So if you are already a postgrad student, I believe that you are familiar with Google Scholar already. And in my opinion, Google Scholar is a wild place. Like if you read the articles on Google Scholar, you will find a lot of things. Even though it's about the same topic, you will find something new almost every time. Every time you download a new article, oh, this is something new. I haven't heard about this before. I've never heard about this before. And then the next day you download another article. Oh, okay. Another new thing. Okay, and there will always be something new. But it is important that you choose a theory or a framework that suits your study the most, so that you won't be affected by all the other new information or new theories that come up. Okay, you must be stern with your decision, because there will always be something new. When I was writing my thesis, I was confident. Okay, this is it. This is the theory that I'm going to apply. This is confirmed. And then the next day, I downloaded another article, and then I realized, oh, what if this method is better? What if this theory is better? Then if you keep on going like that, then you will never come to the end of writing your thesis. So it's very important to acknowledge that there will always be something new, but also be stern with your decision when you choose a certain theory or a certain framework. Okay, next, item number 7. A PhD thesis is very extensive and detailed. So this is the big difference between a master's thesis and a PhD thesis. So I did my master's in a research mode. So I had written a thesis. When I started my PhD, I thought, okay, it's going to be similar like what I did in my master's. I would just do the same thing again. But I was wrong. Okay, it's not like that at all. It is more extensive and more detailed, like especially
Different kind
in
of
terms.
headache.
Yes. And diorang kata permanent head damage, PhD. Permanent head damage. Okay.
Okay, that's the first time I heard that.
So in a PhD thesis, usually the literature reviews must be extensive, it must be detailed. So is the research methodology and our findings, and most importantly, the impact of our research. If we have the experience of writing a master's, or some of us might also have the experience of writing an undergrad thesis, when you come to a PhD thesis, you will realize that it's actually very different. You have to read more. I think there were hundreds, more than 200 or 300 of references in my PhD thesis. So that's quite a lot, and that's how many references I have, which shows how extensive and detailed a PhD thesis should be. Mine was just like 200, 300. Some other PhD students might have more. Okay, but that is good because it shows that you your thesis is detailed. It's important to be detailed. And there's another point actually when it comes to being detailed. Sometimes as PhD students, we tend to be very ambitious, right? We want to do a research about this and that. I want to study the whole of Malaysia. I
Wow.
want to interview everybody in
Wow.
Malaysia. But is it possible? Is it doable? Okay, you have to ask yourself again if it's something that is doable or not. And it's good to be ambitious and it's good to have a wide idea for your research, but it's also important to be detailed. By detail, I mean the scope is usually smaller. You might be studying only one thing or even interviewing only one person,
But you can
but
find out so many things.
yes, the outcome of your research will be very extensive and deep and detailed. And that is what a PhD thesis is about. It doesn't have always to be grand and big and interviewing everybody in the world. Okay, it's always about being deep and detailed. Okay, let's see the next item. Number 8. Okay, stick to a routine. If I could go back, if I could turn back the time and speak to the first year PhD student Zaji, I would ask her to stick to your routine. Okay, this is very important because as I said just now, one day of break is like a week of break. So it's very important to stick to a routine, and you can create your own routine. Usually, from my experience, usually because we don't have classes, we have more freedom in terms of time, and the meetings with supervisors also is very rare, not every day. Usually, some supervisors, they like to meet their students once a week, some once a month. Okay, it depends on the supervisor. But you, as a student, you have to have your own routine. And by routine, I mean the priority is on your PhD thesis or articles. Okay, this is very important because if you don't stick to a routine, you will tend to lose momentum and you tend to lose motivation. So this is my golden rule that I learned a while back. This is like when you're not in the mood, try the 5-minute rule. This 5-minute rule is just like, okay, when let's say you're not in the mood to write your thesis, just tell yourself that, okay, I will do this for like 5 minutes. After that, I will stop. Like 5 minutes, 5 minutes je, semua orang boleh buat, okay? But usually when you are there already, when you have turned on your laptop, you have opened the thesis file and you have begun to start writing that paragraph, 5 minutes can easily become 5 hours. Okay, so the next time you're not in the mood to do something, try telling yourself that, okay, I will just do this for 5 minutes. And this is applicable for almost everything. Like sometimes when I'm not in the mood to go for a walk, like to exercise, I've been in my room the whole day with my online classes and all, and I'm not in the mood to go anywhere, but I will just tell myself, okay, just go down and walk for like 5 minutes. And then usually that 5 minutes will turn to a 1 hour walk.
Wow, okay,
So
this
this
one
is,
I can tell myself.
yeah, this is a very useful rule. Just tell yourself only 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. And then hopefully you will be able to build a routine from this 5-minute rule. Okay, item number 9.
Wow,
Write
already.
about write about the things that we care about. So when you are writing your PhD thesis, right, it's important that you write the things you care about, that you have passion in, and so that it will keep you going. Some people may think that, oh, other topics are better or easier, but it's not their thesis. It's your thesis, right? So if you care about it, even if it's difficult, you will find a way. You will make it happen. You will write. You will go for the field work. You will go for the discussion with your supervisors. But if you yourself are not even interested in the topic, and you are going to do a PhD with your name on the thesis with about something that you are not interested about, then that would be difficult. So if you can write about the things that you care about, because in the end, it's your thesis. Okay, it's not their thesis, it's your thesis. Okay. So Sumaya said that I have 10 items. So now we are on the 10th item already. Number 10.
Will this
Our
be the
health.
final one?
No.
Yeah.
Our health
Okay,
is
more.
just as important as our thesis. So you know that your thesis is important. When I was studying, every semester, I feel like, okay, I have paid for this semester. I have to make the most of the time that I have in this semester. So I want to focus on my thesis. That was my goal for every semester. But as students, research students, we usually sit in front of our computers and we read books, and we our posture will be like this, reading, so it's not good for our body. So I learned that our health is just as important as our thesis, especially now that most things are online, and we look at the screens
All the time.
about all the time, and it's very important to make time to exercise. Okay, you would want to exercise after a whole day or a whole week of just focusing on your thesis. And by exercising, I mean both our brain and body. Like maybe if you like puzzles or Sudoku, you can do things like that. Run away for a little bit from your thesis, not forever, just for a little bit. Okay, and then go for a walk, because this would be good, and it will also help you to brainstorm as you walk. In the evening, you take some time to relax, and maybe at that time, your ideas will flow. And if that happens, do not wait long, just run back to your room and continue writing. Okay, and also have healthy snacks prepared, because for some people, writing makes them hungry. And I'm one of those people. When I write, I will be very hungry, like I need to have some snacks around. But because our health is important, let's switch unhealthy snacks to healthier snacks. Maybe we can eat some nuts, some almond, or hazelnuts instead of biscuits or chocolates. But it's okay to have them once in a while, okay, as long as you're happy and as long as you write your thesis, okay?
Whatever keeps you going.
Yes. I think this is the last item, item number 11. Okay, it is not easy, but it will be worth it. This one I learned after I have finished my PhD. When I look back at my PhD journey, it wasn't easy. But now that it's done, it's finally done, like after centuries, I feel like, okay, it was worth it. It was worth the time. I would want everyone, if you are thinking about pursuing your PhD, or if you are already a registered student but having doubts, I want you to know that it will be worth it. Okay, don't have doubts. It's going to be worth it. Okay, you are doing it for yourself, and once it's done, you will be happy and you will be proud of yourself. And I found this one quote. It says, "No pressure, no diamonds." So if you feel stressed or pressured while doing your PhD, remember that you are diamonds in the making. Okay, once it's done, you are a diamond. Okay,
It sounds so nice.
yeah. So I think this is a very nice quote. I'm not sure who came up with it, but it's really beautiful. No
Yes.
pressure, no diamonds. So remember that you are diamonds in the making.
Making. Woo!
Okay, that's
I feel
it.
motivated already, and I very bad.
Okay, thank you and all the best. So now I'll take a look at your questions. Assalamualaikum Doktor dan Sumaya. Saya nak tanya, apakah persediaan sebelum melangkah ke peringkat master? Untuk master, biasanya kita kena tahu master jenis apa yang kita nak ambil, sama ada dalam mode research atau mode coursework, dan selepas itu baru kita tengok apa syarat-syarat yang universiti tu perlu, sama ada bidang master tu sesuai tak dengan bidang kita semasa degree. Itu antara persediaannya. Okay. How did you manage to complete your studies so fast? It took me about 3 years. And I think one thing is because of the unfair advantage. The unfair advantage for me was because I didn't have any other commitment. So my focus at that time was just to complete my study, just to focus on my PhD. So the point is, if you put your focus, you can do anything. You can do anything, inshallah. Thank you very much for saying that. It's amazing. I hope that if you are already a PhD student, I hope you will finish soon as well. Any advice for someone who started writing thesis? Read a lot, like read. No other advice, only read a lot, then you will generate some ideas as you read. What keeps you motivated? I think if you are talking about the motivation to do my PhD, it was my parents, because of course, as children, we would want to make them proud, right? So I think one of the motivations was my parents. Kak Jaji, have you ever regretted? No, not at all. No regrets. If you are having doubts, again, remember that if you really want this, you can do it. Okay? Don't doubt yourself. How to know if you are ready or not for a PhD? You will never know until you start. You have to start. And of course, there are some technical things that you have to know. Usually, if you already have a master's, technically, it means that you are ready for a PhD. Or if you get really high grades for your high CGPA for your undergraduate study, it also technically means that you are ready for a PhD. Some universities allow fast track, so you can skip masters and you can just go straight from degree to PhD. Technically, you are ready. But the deeper question, whether you are ready or not, only you can answer that. You have to ask yourself that question. Okay, next. Have you ever feel like giving up? Yes. But of course, tak boleh layan. Jangan layan perasaan tu. Kalau rasa nak give up, the more we feel like giving up, the more we have to continue. Okay. Kenapa PhD mengambil masa yang lama? Sebab kena baca banyak sangat benda, kena faham. Sebab kita nak menulis satu thesis. Thesis ni ibarat sebuah buku. Untuk menulis, kita perlu ada idea. Dari mana nak dapat idea? Daripada pembacaan. Jadi kita perlu baca banyak material dan lepas tu barulah dapat idea. Dan lepas dah dapat idea tu, barulah kita kena buat kajian atau penyelidikan. Penyelidikan tu pula bergantung pada bidang kita. Ada orang, kalau bidang sains, dia kena bekerja di makmal. Kadang-kadang yang mengambil masa tu sebab peralatan tak ada. Jadi, kena beli dulu peralatan di makmal. Hello?
Hi, sorry.
Okay.
I yang disappeared. Oh my god.
Tak apa. Kadang-kadang kita kena beli peralatan di makmal, benda tu pun dah ambil masa. Lepas tu kalau kajian yang melibatkan kajian lapangan, mereka perlu keluar, pergi ke tempat-tempat yang diperlukan untuk mereka memungut data. Jadi itu semua mengambil masa yang sangat lama. Itu baru proses pengumpulan data sahaja, belum lagi proses menganalisis data. Jadi memang kesemua aktiviti dalam PhD tu akan mengambil masa yang lama. Soalan seterusnya, salam doktor, I'm on my way to finish my finishing lesson for master by coursework. Yes, of course it's okay. Of course it's okay to pursue PhD right after if you are ready. By ready, I mean technically you already have your masters, right? But the deeper question, whether you are ready or not, you have to ask yourself. What is the difference between master and PhD? Selain daripada more details. Technically, for some universities, the requirements are a bit different. Contohnya, masa saya buat master dulu, tak perlu ada penerbitan makalah untuk lulus master. Tapi untuk PhD ada. Makalah tu artikel, academic article. Kena ada publication. How can I start my PhD? Okay, the basic guideline, how you can start your PhD, you need to see whether you have the related background or not. Your undergrad studies or your master studies, are they related to the PhD that you are interested in? And then search for the website, the university website. Where do you want to study? For example, I give an example for USM because I was from USM. Okay, you go to USM's website and then you look at the course detail, okay, or you look at the experts, list of experts, your potential supervisor. Start there. Okay, start looking for your interest and then start looking for a supervisor. That's how you can start your PhD. Soalan seterusnya, Kak Jaji, berapa tahun? Master dalam 2 tahun, PhD dalam 3 tahun. Okay, I'll read some questions from the Google form. Ada masa lagi kan semuanya? Okay. What is the toughest question during your Viva Voce? I think the toughest question was about my methodology. I didn't put enough information in my thesis about my methods. So of course the examiners will ask and I think, oh, I know the answer because I did my research on my own. I know the answer, but it was quite difficult because I didn't write it down. Okay, next. I want to know if you have completed your PhD or still in the process of completing it. I have completed my PhD just recently. I received my Senate letter this year in June. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Cukayo.
Kamsahamnida. Okay, soalan seterusnya. Suka cari reference BM, jadi tak banyak jumpa tips cari reference. Okay. Sebenarnya reference bergantung pada bidang juga. Kalau secara amnya kebanyakan reference dalam bahasa Inggeris. Jadi boleh cuba guna Google Scholar untuk cari reference bahasa Inggeris dan kalau rasa perlukan bantuan untuk terjemahan mungkin boleh hubungi Proofreaders United. Mereka boleh tolong bagi servis terjemahan.
Saya tunjuk apa kita orang punya ceng-ceng, boleh hubungi nombor yang di bawah.
Okey. Jadi ini satu proses yang penting. Mencari bahan rujukan ni satu proses yang sangat penting. Jadi kalau perlukan bantuan untuk terjemahan, carilah bantuan itu. Okey. Kemudian low self-esteem untuk sambung PhD dan gelaran doktor. Gelaran doktor tu tak ada apa-apa. Jangan rasa macam saya tak layak lah nak dapat. Tak ada orang cakap nak buat PhD tu kena jadi genius macam Sherlock Holmes ke. Tak. Yang penting kita ada semangat untuk tulis, kita ada idea yang baru untuk dijadikan satu bahan kajian dan kita dah lengkapkan semua syarat bermaksud kita layak untuk dianugerahkan sebuah PhD. Jadi jangan rasa macam saya tak cukup pandai ke, kena genius baru. Tak macam tu. Okay? Jangan rasa rendah diri. Semua orang boleh buat, kena kuat semangat. Okay? Rajin tulis, rajin baca. InsyaAllah boleh. Adakah saya perlu buat second master? Ini bergantung pada bidang juga. Kalau bidang untuk master tu asas dah kukuh, saya rasa mungkin tak perlu buat second master, mungkin boleh terus buat PhD. Bergantung pada asas pengajian juga. Bagaimana doktor menguruskan waktu pembelajaran sepanjang menyiapkan kajian PhD? Waktu. Disebabkan pelajar PhD biasanya ada banyak masa lapang, bukan lapang, tapi sebenarnya sebab masa tu kita tak terikat dengan apa-apa. Tak ada kuliah, tak ada aktiviti co-curriculum. Dah buat PhD tak payah dah masuk aktiviti co-curriculum semua. Kalau nak silakan, tapi rasanya universiti tak mewajibkan. Jadi kita perlu pandai cari satu rutin yang sesuai dengan kita. Ada orang dia suka belajar waktu pagi, ada orang dia suka belajar waktu malam, dan ada orang mungkin dia belajar 2-3 hari je seminggu, hari lain tu dia buat benda lain, hobi yang lain, mungkin bersukan ke apa, tapi pastikan ada progress. Itu yang penting. Cari rutin yang paling sesuai dengan diri kita. Soalan seterusnya, do we need to know our SV? Perlu ke tahu SV ni macam mana sebelum kita pilih beliau sebagai SV? Kalau berpeluang untuk kenal dengan bakal penyelia tu lebih baik, sebab biasanya kita kena bincang dulu dengan bakal penyelia tu untuk tahu sama ada tajuk kajian yang kita cadangkan tu adakah sesuai dengan bidang kepakaran beliau. Jadi itu satu benda yang kita perlu ambil kira. Kalau sesuai dan dia pun setuju untuk ambil lagi pelajar, sebab mungkin kadang-kadang penyelia tu dah hampir tempoh bersara, jadi mungkin dia dah tak nak ambil pelajar PhD sebab PhD biasanya mengambil masa kan. Jadi pada pendapat saya perlu kenal dulu dengan supervisor sebelum kita pilih. Tapi kalau tak kenal pun tak apa. Kalau kita tengok profil dekat website tu macam sesuai, bidang yang sesuai dan okey, boleh terus hubungi melalui email. How to deal with multiple rejections without being demotivated? Okay, rejections. Jangan anggap rejection tu satu perkara yang negatif. You can think of it as a redirection. Okay, it's not a rejection. It's just a redirection from one door to another door. Okay, that's how we can deal with rejections. Okay, jangan rasa demotivated. InsyaAllah, kalau tak dapat yang ni, mesti ada rezeki yang lain. InsyaAllah. Okay. Pada pendapat Kak Jaji, which one is better? After master sambung PhD terus, or after master cari kerja dulu, lepas tu baru sambung PhD berdasarkan situasi Malaysia sekarang? Ini satu soalan yang agak sukar untuk dijawab sebab PhD tu kita yang buat. Jadi kita yang tentukan sama ada keperluan kita pada masa sekarang, kerja atau belajar. Itu satu soalan ni sangat subjektif. Tapi kalau saya jawab berdasarkan pengalaman, sebab saya sambung terus, jadi pada saya mungkin okey untuk sambung terus, tapi pastikan anda mampu dan itulah macam soalan ni kata juga berdasarkan situasi Malaysia sekarang. Jadi itu kena
mungkin more kepada tepuk dada tanya sendiri ke.
Ya betul.
Ikut masing-masing punya situation.
Soalan ni agak subjektif. Okey, apakah perbezaan preparation yang Doktor buat sebelum start PhD dulu dengan info yang Doktor share malam ni? Saya rasa tadi masa dalam talk pun dah kongsi sikit. Sebenarnya tak banyak perbezaan sebab tak banyak atau saya yang tak ingat sebab sebab masa saya mula saya jenis yang ikut masa tu saya dah mula, saya rasa sebenarnya saya tukar tajuk. Tajuk PhD tu saya tukar. 2-3 bulan terawal saya tulis tentang tajuk yang lain, lepas tu baru tukar. Jadi itu mungkin salah satu perbezaan. Kalau saya boleh ulang semula masa, mungkin saya awal-awal dah buat tajuk yang sekarang lah, bukan tajuk yang kena tukar tu. Did you start strong? If you did, how? If you didn't, what would you have done differently? This question is also a bit subjective. I don't really understand what do you mean by start strong. But if you are talking about my background, I think my background, the academic background, my undergrad studies was about language and linguistics, and then my master's was also in linguistics, and my PhD also in linguistics. So academic wise, I believe that it was pretty strong in that sense. But if you are talking about strong, like mentally or psychologically, I would say that I am a stronger person now after I've gone through all the ups and downs of PhD.
Everyone starts from zero.
Yes, negative tu. Lagi kecil daripada zero.
Takutnya.
Okay. Kos yang perlu disediakan sepanjang buat PhD selain daripada yuran belajar. Okay, kos semestinya kos sara hidup semua, tapi satu kos lagi pada saya yang penting ialah kos gadget macam laptop dan buku. Tu zaman sekarang mungkin tak perlu beli sangat buku sebab kebanyakan bahan boleh dapat dalam talian, boleh download daripada Google Scholar. Tapi kalau selain daripada yuran belajar, saya rasa antara kosnya itulah peruntukan untuk technological device macam laptop. Any group support selain DSG yang boleh Doktor cadangkan? Mungkin ini group Telegram Proofreaders United.
Saya keluarkan balik.
Mereka ada ini Telegram.
Khas untuk postgraduate students.
Jadi mungkin anda yang bertanya ni boleh sertai group ni. Methodology to decide. Ini bergantung pada kajian anda. It depends on your research. There's tons of methodologies out there. You have to choose the best one for your research, and the best person to discuss this with is your supervisor. What is the procedure to apply for PhD? Find supervisor first, then university, or university first, then supervisor. It doesn't matter actually. If you know this one supervisor that you feel connected to him or her and you want to be their student, you should choose based on that. But if you think, okay, I really want to study at USM, for example, sekejap, battery low.
Pagi ni saya kelang kabut, tiba-tiba tak ada internet. Tapi tadi jalan je kan?
Saya cuma panik sekejap sebab semuanya hilang. Jadi saya ingat live ni dah habis ke?
Saya pun panik. Saya macam oh my god.
Okay. If you have a particular university that you are really interested in, for example, I really want to study at UM or UKM or USM, then this is actually your choice. Okay, don't worry too much about the procedure. Like if people say A, B, C, it doesn't really have to be that way. You can do B, C, A or C, A, B. It's up to you. Okay, saya tengok soalan di ruangan chat ni pula. Doktor, boleh saya tahu apa maksud doktor dengan idea yang baru? Sebab kajian PhD ni mesti ada idea baru. Maksudnya kajian tu tak pernah orang buat lagi. Tak pernah dijalankan lagi. Kalau dah ada orang pernah buat, jadi kajian kita tu dah tak bermakna dah lah. Sebab sama je macam apa yang orang dah buat. Jadi maksud idea baru tu mungkin pembaharuan atau penambahbaikan daripada kajian-kajian sebelum ni. Contoh, dah ada orang buat kajian tentang kesan COVID terhadap kesihatan mental orang Malaysia. Tapi mungkin dia hanya mengkaji perempuan, wanita. Mungkin subjek kajiannya wanita. Jadi lepas tu kita boleh tambah dengan buat kajian, okey, kesan COVID-19 terhadap kesihatan mental orang Malaysia, tapi kanak-kanak atau remaja atau lelaki pula. Itu maksudnya idea yang baru. Tak semestinya semua tu 100% baru, tapi perlu ada sedikit pembaharuan atau penambahbaikan. Untuk apply USM, adakah perlu ambil apa-apa exam seperti IELTS? Untuk pelajar tempatan tak ada. Setahu saya tak ada. IELTS biasanya hanya untuk pelajar antarabangsa. IV and DV, sorry, this question is not clear. Apa cabaran sambung PhD di dalam negara dan luar negara? Adakah kebiasaan seseorang itu akan mengalami kesukaran nak adapt dengan language ataupun tidak? Pada Kak Jeji, which one is better? Okay. Saya belajar di dalam negara. Saya buat PhD di USM, jadi di dalam negara. Saya tak boleh buat perbandingan sebab saya tak ada pengalaman belajar di luar negara. Tapi disebabkan saya dah bekerja di luar negara untuk beberapa bulan, jadi pada saya there is no specific answer on which one is better kalau berdasarkan soalan ni. Semua bergantung pada kita. Kalau kita memang rasa kita boleh bawa diri, kita berani pergi ke luar negara, kena belajar bahasa asing, contohnya bahasa Korea ke, boleh, tak ada masalah, dan teruskan sebab pengalaman belajar pada saya di mana-mana pun sangat berharga. Kalau dalam negara pun berharga, apatah lagi di luar negara, tempat kita boleh belajar macam-macam tentang budaya orang. Jadi tak ada jawapan tentang which one is better. Kedua-duanya saya rasa bagus. Yang penting kita belajar. Okey. Ada soalan lagi? Ada lagi sikit dalam ni. Okey. Apa pendapat doktor tentang sambung PhD di tempat yang sama dengan degree dan master? Pada saya tak ada masalah, boleh. Semua ni bergantung pada keperluan peribadi juga. Sebab ada orang mungkin rasa nak cuba belajar dekat tempat lain lah. Ada orang mungkin ada faktor-faktor seperti keluarga kat sini, jadi saya akan sambung di tempat yang sama, mudah saya nak jumpa dengan mak ayah macam tu. Mungkin ada sebab-sebab peribadi mereka sendiri, jadi tak ada masalah nak sambung di tempat yang sama. Okey, ada sedikit lagi soalan di sini. Kita ada 1 minit lagi. Saya ambil
tak
satu
apa,
lagi.
lebih pun tak apa.
How do you manage your expectations when things go sideways? Ada orang pernah bagi tahu saya, jangan ada expectation. Kalau kita tak ada expectation, nanti kita tak adalah kecewa. Betul. Tapi but when
kita kecewa sebab kita ada expectation lah.
Kan, expectation versus reality. Okay, biasanya kalau kita dah usahakan sesuatu, nak tak nak sedikit sebanyak mesti kita akan ada sedikit jangkaan atau expectation tu. Terutamanya kalau kita dah bersungguh-sungguh ni, dah tulis artikel, kita rasa dah bagus ni, penyelidik pun cakap dah bagus ni, awak boleh terbitkan artikel ni. Tapi tiba-tiba jurnal tu reject artikel kita. Jadi mesti kita akan ada rasa sedih. Tapi macam yang saya cakap tadi, jangan anggap rejection tu sebagai rejection, sebaliknya cuba pandang rejection tu sebagai redirection. Okay, satu pintu tutup, satu pintu lagi akan buka. Jadi percaya benda tu, insyaAllah kita akan cepat untuk bangkit semula. Sedih sikit, sekejap tak apa, sikit-sikit tu macam sedih hari ni. Tapi esok macam okay, tak apa, hari ni cuba hantar artikel tu dekat jurnal yang lain pula. Itu contoh kalau jurnal lah kan. Saya kalau expectation lain dalam hidup tu bergantung pada kesukaran sesuatu situasi tu juga. Tapi yang penting kita cuba kuat sebab tak akan masalah tu tak akan berlaku untuk selama-lamanya. Nothing lasts forever. Okay, nothing lasts forever. InsyaAllah our problems will also go away soon. Okay, saya rasa tu sahaja. Tak ada soalan lain lagi. Sumaya, ada apa-apa mungkin?
Saya tak doktor lah. Sepatah dua kata penutup.
Okay, kata penutup.
Kata-kata semangat untuk yang sedang struggle untuk siapkan PhD, sedang apa-apalah untuk.
Okay. Jangan mengalah. You can do this. Okay. Kalau rasa tengah tersekat, if you feel stuck, try to get help from your supervisor, or you can also ask your friends, even though they are not doing the same research as you, but as students, hopefully they will be able to help you. That's what I did when I was studying as well. I would ask help from friends. Sometimes I would force my friends to read. Please read this paragraph. Do you think it's okay? Even though they don't really understand because it's not their field of expertise, but I would really appreciate their comments because the basic is the same. The basic of a PhD thesis is pretty much the same. So if your friends can read your paragraph or your article and they would give comments, and if you are stuck, maybe you can start moving again from there. Take their comments and try to improve. Or if you are tired, okay, we are tired all the time, especially if you are a student, a PhD student, and if you are a mother or if you are working, then it will be more overwhelming. But I want you to know that it is really worth it. Okay, once you have that PhD in your hand, you will thank yourself. You will be so happy and so proud of yourself. You will be congratulating yourself like for 7 days like that.
Okay, you'll be petting yourself.
Yes, it will be fruitful. Okay, the journey is difficult, but the fruit will be sweet. Okay.
So sweet.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So okay, everyone. I've just put the feedback form in the comment section. So kindly fill it in so that you can get your e-certificate. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. And if you like this sharing, click the like button. And if you want more of this wonderful sharing, click the subscribe button if you're on YouTube, and also our Facebook official page, Proofreaders United. So you guys can go and subscribe there, so you can get more content there. We provide a lot of postgraduate content, be it about thesis writing or this technical stuff. So we have them, so you guys can check it out. And thank you so much. I think this is the first time we're having this live sharing session with someone from overseas.
Okay.
And sadly, I was the one who was breaking up earlier and not
It's
Doctor.
okay. It's okay.
Okay, but thank you again, Doctor, for accepting our invitation to have this live sharing session with us. It was a very insightful and informative session. So
Thank
thank
you
you
for
so much,
having me.
Doctor. Okay, so for everyone, I hope you will be staying safe and healthy, and stay tuned for more because we have a lot of wonderful sharing. We have a lot of events. This for your, I guess, sneak peek. We will be having our weekly shut up and write session. Shut up and write event is basically where we write thesis together, so we can help motivate each other to write thesis together. I will be the chief usually.
Ah,
Yeah, so stay tuned to our page, our YouTube channel. We'll provide the event details and everything, mainly on our Facebook also. So yeah, stay tuned, and I hope everyone will have a good night. Kamsahamnida, Doctor.
Kamsahamnida. Sekejap kita ambil gambar. Saya
Oh,
screenshot.
okay.
Okay, okay. Satu.
Kalau kita je lah, kesian.
Ada komen
Sorry,
Lee
sorry ya
masuk-masuk sikit.
Rabun.
Okay. Satu, dua, tiga. One more. Okay. Okay, terima kasih.
Right, thank you,
Sampai
Doctor. Okay, thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Kamsahamnida ya Rabbi.
Have a good night. Sekejap Doctor.
Assalamualaikum.
Doctor tunggu sekejap.
Okay.
Saya tutup live aja.
Okay.
Bye everyone. Thank you.
Bye.